I am speechless. I really am. Something came up in your bloodline. Something old. Something that somebody a long time ago tried very hard to bury. And it did not stay buried. Right now, in the middle of your normal week, in the middle of the dishes and the messengers and the tired, a scene your family hid 3 or 4 generations back is standing up again, quietly, in you. You have probably noticed that you feel things before they happen, that you know things nobody taught you, that you're good at something nobody in your house was good at, and nobody can explain where it came from. That sometimes you miss a place you have never been. That is not an accident. That is real. That is real. You have probably also noticed that you get tired around certain people for no reason at all. That you can walk into a house and know in about 4 seconds what happened in that house before you got there. That an old song or an old photo or a certain smell in the air can put a lump in your throat and you could not explain it if somebody paid you. You are not making this up. You never were. I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like a nice story, but stay with me because this one is not a story. Let me be really specific. Think of a moment, maybe a Tuesday evening. You are in a kitchen. The light is that warm yellow color. Somebody says something ordinary and you feel a small pull in your chest, like a door opening far away in the house. You don't say anything. You just keep washing the cup. But you felt it, and you never told anybody, right? That pull is not random. That pull is old. Here is what nobody tells you. A gift does not die when you hide it. It goes underground, that is all. It goes down and it waits and it moves quietly under the floor of a family for years and years. Somebody in your line had this. I want you to picture them standing in a small room holding something in their hands. A voice, a way of seeing people, a way of healing, a way of making things. Something that made a room go quiet when they used it. And someone told them to stop. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was real danger, maybe it was a charge, a boss, a border, a war. Maybe it was just being poor and having no time, but somebody said, put that down. That is not for people like us. That will get you hurt. And they put it down. They put it down and they never picked it up again. And the family got quiet about it. They did not call it a loss. They called it being sensible. They called it being safe. And after 2 generations, nobody even remembered there was something to remember. Here is what most people don't understand. They thought they were killing it. They were planting it. You cannot bury a seed. I mean, you can put dirt on it, but dirt on a seed is not a grave. Dirt on a seed is a garden. It just needs time and one person with the right conditions, and it comes back up through everything they put on top of it. You are the one it came up in. Let me be specific about one more thing. Somewhere in your family there is a story that stops in the middle, a name people say and then change the subject, a photo nobody explained, a person who was good at something and then nothing, no ending. The story does not stop because nothing happened. The story stopped because something happened and the family decided it was safer not to finish the sentence. And let me be really specific because this part matters. It did not land on the loudest one. It did not land on the one everybody said had potential. It waited. It passed people who would have used it for their own thing. It passed people who would have been crushed by it. And it stopped on you. Because you're the first one in a long line who is safe enough to hold it and stubborn enough not to drop it. That's not luck. That's not luck. That is a long line of quiet people waiting until it finally reached somebody who could carry it out loud. And then something shifted. You probably did not notice the day it happened. There was no big moment, but somewhere in the last year, maybe the last 6 months, you stopped asking for permission. You stopped explaining yourself in long messengers. You stopped saying sorry for taking up a chair. You stopped making yourself smaller so a room could stay comfortable. You have not become someone different. You just stopped hiding. And people around you felt it before you did. That is usually how it works. You were the last one to find out that you had changed. You thought you were just tired. You thought you were just done with certain things. But being done is sometimes the first day of something. You started trusting that small feeling in your stomach. You started saying no without a paragraph after it. You started walking away from things that used to hold you for months. That is the seed coming up through the ground. That is what it looks like. It's not lightning. It's slow and green and impossible to stop. Now, let's talk about them, because people have noticed, especially your own people. Someone in your family has been watching you a little too long lately. A second too long, you catch it and they look away and they say something about the weather. Someone changed their voice around you. It's a little higher now or a little flat. They ask questions that are not really questions. So what is the plan? You still doing that? Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Some of them feel nervous around you now, not because you did anything, because you are standing exactly where they were told not to stand. And here is the hard part, and I say this with love. They are not angry at you. They are grieving. When they look at you, they see the thing they were told to put down. They see the life that was possible, and that hurts in a way most people never say out loud. So they say be careful instead. They say stay humble. They say don't forget where you came from, when what they really mean is please Don't go somewhere I could not go. Think of a table, a family table, a group chat, does not matter which. You said something small about your plans, nothing dramatic, and there was that half second of silence before somebody laughed. You felt it in your body before your brain caught up, and then you spent 2 days wondering if you said too much. You did not say too much. You said a normal thing in front of people who are used to a quieter version of you. They are not reacting to who you are. They are reacting to what you are showing them about themselves. So let them. Let them talk. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them say you have changed because you have, and it is the best thing that has happened to your family in 100 years. You don't have to shrink so a room stays calm. You don't have to explain your life to people who decided the ending before you started. You don't have to carry the fear of a person who lived in a different century. That fear kept them alive back then. It is not keeping you alive now. It is just sitting on your chest. Let them think you are too much. Let them be confused. Let them tell the story about you wrong for a while, because they will, and it will not change one single thing that is growing in you right now. That is not your responsibility. Their comfort was never your job. It was never your job, not even when you were small and it felt like it was. You are not being called. You are being the first. And the thing they called your problem, the sensitivity, the stubbornness, the questions, the way you can't sit still inside a life that does not fit you. Those are not flaws. Those are the tools that came with the gift. You just got the tools before you got the instructions. So, here is what is coming. This is your moment to keep it above ground, not to prove anything, not to fight anybody, just to keep doing the thing out loud where people can see it, because it is already moving. New people are arriving, doors are opening in rooms you have not walked into yet. Your name is being said in places you don't know about, and someone younger than you, in your family or close to it, is watching you right now and quietly deciding that is allowed. That is the whole thing. That is how it ends. Not with money, not with revenge, with one person who did not put it down. And it will not stop with you either. That is the part I love. Whatever comes up in you now goes down into everybody who comes after you. And this time, nobody has to dig for it. This time, they get to be burned standing on top of it. You have already chosen this. You chose it the day you stopped apologizing for yourself. So carry it. Nothing was lost. It was only buried, and burying it was the worst thing they could have done to it, because it grew. Everything they hid is standing up in your body right now. It is yours. It is safe here, finally. You are the proof that it survived. Love you. Keep it above ground.